We're now making our way into the latter half of the Resistance event, and it's something that we're going to have a lot of different changes coming up and a little bit of a patch as well at some point in time, possibly tomorrow, though not entirely confirmed. But as with keeping with tradition the past couple of weeks and with what we did in the Winter Siege event, I want to take a little bit of the time today to detail the changes that you'll be seeing within World War II starting tomorrow. You'll end up having a playlist update depending on if that patch does not drop at the same point in time. Once again, there is no ETA on that patch that we detailed a couple of days ago with massive amounts of things, and we'll recap here within this video. But as it stands right now, with everything else that we've seen in the weekly updates, it's only going to be a hotfix coming out tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. GMT, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So unfortunately, we are starting to crawl towards the end of the event. That doesn't mean that we still don't have some goodies on the horizon and some things to look forward to both this week and next week. So I want to detail them here for you guys, let you guys know everything you need to know, and then perhaps you can end up determining how much time you want to put in this week compared to, say, next week or these past couple of weeks. So that said, without further ado, let's jump right into the week 4 changes starting tomorrow, February 13th. Now, to kick it all off, of course, we are going to once again log on tomorrow, and the start of the week is going to refresh, and we'll have everything on the table, and as such, we'll get a brand new Resistance supply drop as a free gift in the mail station. So if you end up going over, say, logging in, collecting your armory credits, check that mail station as well so that you end up getting that free supply drop and redeeming it there. Now, it doesn't seem like there's going to ever really be a time limit on these. I'm pretty sure you can let them sit there and they'll just be there to collect, and then they'll add to your inventory at whatever time. So if you can't get there immediately or like a day or two later you end up logging on, they'll still be there for you. But just make sure that you end up collecting them because it is a free supply drop. Now, unfortunately, unlike week 1, 2, and 3, and what we'll see next week, there's actually no double XP event this entire week. Now, granted, last week was supposed to be double XP for Nazi zombies only, but then we ended up getting a weekend event for double XP that just ended earlier in the day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so if you were on and you saw a hotfix or a playlist update, that's what that was for, just to turn off the double XP. So, of course, we did end up getting that unexpectedly added in, but right now there are no plans for modes outside of the featured playlist, which we'll talk about in a little bit here within this video. But again, I guess we're kind of due up for that sort of layoff period, though we still will have a little bits within the gun game playlist. That is something that overall, whenever we don't have it across an entire mode like zombies or multiplayer in its entirety, I guess we are due up once again for a little change up there. But next week it does return once again for zombies, and then we'll have a weekend triple feed XP for that final weekend starting on the 23rd, so not right when the week starts, but then that means we'll get double XP, double weapon XP, and double division XP. So you do have that to look forward to. Just this week itself is a little delayed in the sense that we don't have one at all. Now, the weekly orders and daily orders are going to change around a little bit, whereas we saw recently that they were kind of just carried over or changed ever so slightly in some capacity, dealing with whatever the featured playlist was. This week we actually do have a pretty much brand new overhaul of different orders, starting with the weekly orders, in which you can complete 100 matches, which doesn't take all that long over a week span. Of course, that is a lot of different playtime if you were to just sit down and play it all out, but gun game, if you're going to end up playing gun game a lot, that's exactly where you want to be to complete this very fast, because that ends up meaning that every single game you'll play is probably at max 5 minutes. So then you can also get another one for 75 kills with a tactical knife in the Resistance division, returning back to that one if I'm not mistaken, but in a lesser quantity because we had one that was 100 kills earlier, and then to play 25 matches of gun game. Those are your weekly orders and the ones that you can just knock out over the next 7 days, and really I think these ones are a little bit easier compared to some of the ones that we've had previously, especially whenever we had the Resistance division. 100 kills with a tactical knife and 30 headshots with a pistol just seemed to drag on whenever I tried to play that one out, and I think that I still even have one of those active, but I could be wrong on that one. But regardless, those are the weekly orders, and of course they all yield you a Resistance supply drop if you complete them. Definitely I say go for it, because we are coming closer to the end of the Resistance event, so if you want to get anything out of those classifications of the new stuff in the collections, now is the best time to try and grind these out, because once they're gone, well, they're not necessarily gone, but they become extremely harder to unlock everything, as we've seen with Winter Siege and the ending thereafter that. Now, as for the daily orders, once again, these are on a set rotation where we have 4 and then 3, and the latter 3 are that of the first 3 of the 4 list, if that makes sense. But regardless, once again, starting on February 13th, which is tomorrow, you can get 25 kills in gun game. February 14th is win 3 matches in gun game. February 15th is to get 3 multi-kills in gun game, and the 16th is to set back any enemy 5 times in gun game, and then the rotation starts over from there with 25 kills, 3 matches, 3 multi-kills. Now, the one thing that I am not looking forward to is after February 16th, everyone is going to be trying to knife you in gun game. That to me is one of the most irritating things in the world. But I guess we have those first 3 days to play it out and try it and really grind it out without really having to worry about people that may be air quote griefing, or if they end up actually are just going for that challenge. Now, of course, these are all going to yield you once again a resistance supply drop, but unlike the weekly orders, they don't take as long to complete, and of course you can get a new one each day. So you can end up stockpiling 3 of these, you can do them all as they come out, whatever it may be, but those are your orders that you'll be seeing on the daily front. As for your contracts, well, as previously, we ended up seeing not any change over the course of the last couple of weeks. They've just been kind of stable, depending on maybe one changing out here and there, depending on the featured playlist, and that's exactly how it is again with this upcoming week's contracts, because all of them are exactly the same as of last week, except for one in which it's get 70 kills in gun game, and that replaces the get 5 headshots in team deathmatch. So the full list itself is 35 kills in any mode, 35 kills with the pistol, 55 kills in war, 5 headshots in domination, 30 kills in the resistance division, and 70 kills in gun game. Once again, playing into that featured playlist and being something that players can take a little bit more advantage of and also get an extra supply drop out of just for playing a little bit of that featured mode. Now, the final thing we have here up on the calendar of events is the featured playlist, once again like we talked about at the earlier portions of this video. Now, the featured playlist this week is going to change it up a little bit, and it's not one that was even really teased all that much in the sense of what we had at the beginning when we first got our first piece of information on the resistance event. We had demolition and prop hunt teased at that point. This one's kind of just thrown in there for not necessarily the mix of it, but to bring it back because fans wanted to see it again. That being gun game. Now, within this featured playlist, we are going to end up seeing a triple feed event as well. So that means double XP, double weapon XP, and double division XP on all the weapons and all the playtime within this specific mode. So double XP is not going to extend over into, say, war or team deathmatch, but it will be available if you play gun game. Now, granted, it might not be the best mode to take advantage of double XP on, say, like War would be, or Demolition was pretty solid this past week as well. That is something in which gun game is a little smaller on the score end compared to those ones, but they are a get in, get out quick mode in which you can end up completing each match in about 3 to 5 minutes. The one thing that I am slightly interested to see how this works out is the double division XP, because we ended up having a triple feed the last time we saw a gun game as well within World War II, and unfortunately, the Division XP didn't actually transfer because the game did not register at that point, though the characters themselves changed, that your divisions changed as well. So whereas it seemingly put you in armor division if you had an LMG, though it could track the LMG portion of the armored statistics, it didn't actually track your division itself, so you took advantage of maybe say 50% of what ranks up your divisions. So I'm curious if that's going to be the same way going into this moving forward with gun game this coming week, or if it's going to end up tracking your actual character as well in a division you're supposedly put in, or I guess theoretically put in, depending on the weapon classification that you have at whatever rank you are in that gun game match. So I'm curious to see if it works out like that, but I don't know. So keep your eyes open for that. It might be something we can maybe address as a community and bring up the sledgehammer and maybe get it worked out during the week. But for what it's worth, right now, gun game is going to have triple feed XP with double XP, double weapon XP, and double division. Now, this does not mean this is the only stuff we're going to be getting in terms of changes, because we don't know exactly when this upcoming update is going to be happening for World War II. Theoretically, it could happen tomorrow, and instead of a hotfix and playlist update, we end up getting an actual physical update that will then be tied in with it, that it all comes out at once, but we don't have any ETA on it just yet. So things like a prestige token, last warning, possibly paint shops, ranked play 4-man parties, the flak event, workarounds to the war XP, custom community playlists, all that kind of stuff is once again detailed as coming within this update for World War II, but we don't have any ETA on it just yet. So there's going to be more things outside of the Resistance event specifically that will be happening as well, but for what it's worth right now, this is what we're going to be getting with the update to the Resistance event for this 4th and penultimate week. So with that said, that is gonna wrap up this video and hopefully give you guys some insight onto what to expect this upcoming week. Gun game is returning, definitely gonna be a blast. I'm excited for that one, but But outside of that, we also get the inclusion of new weekly orders, new contracts, and other than that, well, it's pretty much all the same here, depending on when we end up getting that update to World War II. So also keep your eyes open for that, because we'll keep you guys updated with all the changes that come after that and a little bit of everything you need to know here outside of that as well. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you want to see coming, even if it might not be scheduled? Are there anything in terms of changes with the update you want to see? Whatever it may be, feel free to let me know down there in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding World War II, anything regarding best class setups, tips, tricks, news, information, updates like these ones. Anything you guys want to know about it, we got you covered here up on the channel. So if any of it interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, try to get a little bit more active on there as well. But if you guys want to follow me over on that route, feel free to. That link is as well in the description. But that said, hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine is an espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.